Today we're checking out Farthest Frontier. This is a medieval agricultural colony sim with an emphasis on food growth and preservation. This is kind of a close-up of a colony that I got underway after a few hours, because there is a little bit of a learning curve here. A quick thanks to Crate Entertainment, because they did send me a key to this, so big thanks to them. But this game is in early access, so do expect a lot of bugs and kind of wonkiness for right now. I kind of think of it like a Banished with combat. But it is still very much in EA, and I'm finding more and more about this game, and I'm sure by the end of this stream, which we'll probably be spending about 2 to 3 hours on this, I just want to get our feet wet with making a colony. I'm going to go back and start off a whole new colony so we can just kind of hold each other's hand and get started in the game here. But it's really neat because it's sort of like the colony builder with an emphasis on survival. You might notice in my initial village, obviously you have all the different structures. You have housing, you have a school to educate people, you have your town hall over here, but you also have these kind of like starter food facilities like fishing huts, and there's a hunter's lodge over here. So kind of combining the survival and the colony management genres. There's also a lot of disease, there's raids, so there is combat, there's predators who will just kind of attack your camp and maul someone at random, which is a little bit jarring, but there's also seasons. You can't see it right now, but there's like a really beautiful winter when you sometimes get blizzards, and just beautiful ambiance in this game. Great sounds, and I've tried to kind of adjust the volume so that my voice fits nicely over it, because I think there's very beautiful background music in this game. Kind of, it's you know, it's your normal colony sim, keeping everyone happy, attracting migrants, growing the settlement. They can't have children, and you can have a huge medieval city. I would just invite you quickly to look at YouTube or on Google Images to see some people's giant villages here. So I'm certainly not at that stage. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to, we'll leave this colony right where it's at. I have currently 70 out of 80. I have 80 capacity. I could keep building houses. But I've got my seasons going by. I've got all my resources managed. And there's a lot here. There's still a little bit that feels rough around the edges. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to explore this as it is with you guys in early access today. So I'm going to go hit back out to the main menu. Okay, so we've spawned in and we've loaded up our map. And we've found a nice smooth boy map. So I'm going to go ahead and put down our city hall over here. I've looked over the main area and we've got some fertility over here. We do need it kind of flat. Flat boy terrain, just because we're going to need to build houses and they don't do very well on slope. But there is a point to elevation in this game that it helps you guard your settlement, but we'll just go totally flat. And the main thing I was looking for was just river water. A river view, if you will. So we're going to go ahead and put down our city hall over here. And as soon as it loads up, there's a little bit of a load time right here. As you load into the map, that's pretty much all the load time. Otherwise, I've found that it works pretty well, although I've heard of some optimization stuff going on. But yes, my builders, let's turn off the fertility overlay. We also have the desirability overlay, which is pretty much just neutral for right now, and we have our water overlay. So this is telling us like essential resources we need, and you're probably looking at all of these resources on the map. You can kind of ignore some of this stuff for right now, but it's stuff for our foragers later on. The one main thing I want to draw attention to is the fact that I've located my settlement, and I'm just going to slow down time slightly, so that they're all moving very slowly and sensually. But I want to draw attention to the fact that I've given myself like all of these kind of winding areas in the river to build my settlement near. That's very important because fish tend to be very OP for getting food in the early game. And we're going to need to get a lot of surface area at the riverbank if we want to catch a lot of fish. Either that or we're going to need to find a shoal for fishing. We can speed up time like this, but I'm going to keep time slow because we're currently at early spring. I'm just going to let all of our villagers work on this because currently we've got 12 laborers and no other jobs to do, and I just kind of want them to get everything in the ground. Now, normally I would do some scouting at the beginning, but we kind of cheated our scouting, if you will, because we got to see all the area around us, and I pretty much know that there's nothing very interesting all the way back out here in the recessed areas out in the back. But what I want to do is, I've built near the river, I've built near the corners in the river, so that I've kind of checked those boxes off my list. I guess that the next thing I'm going to want to start to plan out is just where my roads are going to be, and where my housing is going to be. So I'm going to look at that fertility overlay again, and I think I'm going to need to build all of my houses in here. And I want to save this fertile zone for our farms and whatnot. We've also got a clay deposit over here, which we'll work our way up to, but we've got 30 more labor left to complete. So I'm just going to get a road going down here. And I think I want like just a road encircling my town hall. And these do get a little iffy. You can like delete them later on, but you want to make sure you get it nice. And there we go, nice and smooth, boy. I believe they should be able to cross over good. That's not actually a ford, so this is great. All right, so I want to build the houses. Let's do like a good lane of houses. And we want to build our houses in kind of like squarish, circle-y areas because we're going to have a lot of structures in the middle that will need a radius. So if we could, or that will give them like a radius around it, like a school. Like educate all the children who happen to live near the school, for example. So we're going to leave some space here just because I know I'm going to mess up some things and I know I'm going to need more room. And you're better off just leaving a little bit more space than you might need. So let's do some houses facing outward, but we also we want our houses near a source of water because this is how villagers are going to hydrate and put out fires in the houses that just sort of randomly happen. I haven't quite figured this part out yet, but yeah, the houses will just kind of randomly be set on fire. So let's first off locate the well before we do that, actually. It's kind of like RimWorld in that I'm being really careful to just make sure I have everything set up like right before I get started, because if I kind of mess up all the placements, it's going to waste so much more time later down the line. So we're right by some water here, so like I kind of want the houses to be in the non-fertile zone, but I also want them to be able to get as much water as they can. So I guess I'll take the 90% water bonus. If you put it literally into the river, you're getting like 100%, but not possible. So I think that this is close enough.
Moisturize them.
Yes. Yes. Yes, help them to be smooth, moisturized, boy. I don't know why, but I'm just calling everything smooth boy today. But that's all right. Firewood splitter. We're also going to do the firewood splitter really early on, only because I had a lot of people die of exposure, just like, it's slightly cold at the beginning. So I will put this here because I think we're going to do... I think I'm starting to see how this is going to work. So we have this fertility zone, and this is nice. We're going to go ahead and do housing. Let's do this. So I do want things to be kind of tight, close together. I haven't seen too much fire spread, but I want to have room in case if I decide to do... That is not what I wanted to do. Delete that. I'm pretty sure we get back those resources. Here we go. Tab is the rotate button here, so it's a little odd. I think I will just leave this corner. Now, it's going to be like kind of a grid city. I know that's a little bit boring of me, but like at the same time, it just kind of works. So I'm just going to have grids, and I'm going to build another road here. We can start to upgrade these roads to like cobblestone later on, but for now, just no. And we're going to give them time to just work on all of this. And then I think at the same time also too, just maybe one more thing we'll do. Now they have some food. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start explaining. What else? They have 9 food in public storage right now, which is pretty much just like the wagon that they came in on. Are we keeping it all in the wagon? So we do have smoked meat. So that's good. That'll keep. We have our town center. They can't really do much with that. And we've got 12 people, so we'll have, I think it's either 4 or 5 per house. So this should be enough for all our current people. Happiness is going down because we don't have anything. No one's really sick. What else is this? What is this thing? Housing shortage, obviously, because we just got here. And firewood shortage because obviously we don't have any. I'm going to go ahead and just also designate a couple trees to be... Here we go. I'm just going into the harvest menu and I'm just kind of highlighting a few trees. I don't really find that this is that crisp or clicky, the like harvest mode, because it's just kind of I didn't get any sound effect or anything like that. There's a couple things like that in this game where I'm just like, I hope that they add in a little something just to kind of confirm that I've done the deed that I was intending to do. But let's go ahead and put down a fishing shack. Now this is going to be fantastic. We'll have several fishing shacks here because they're really strong. I'm going to put this one... Let's rotate it like that. And now we're going to get 60%, but I think we could get an extreme bonus right here. If we put this thing... there. This is a fantastic location. Now, although it has this radius, we can retarget the radius that it's aimed at. So they can keep moving around the area that they're fishing in, is what I'm trying to say. Again, low firewood, basically low everything, but we're still in spring, late spring. We don't have a day-night cycle, but we do have a seasonal cycle. Are we interactive today, or is this recording? Yeah, no, we're chatting a little bit. I'm mainly focusing on the game right now, just because I'm like trying to get everything set up. But this game does get kind of grindy. So if you guys have any inputs or anything, like I learned that you can move the berry bushes. Like we'll start to get set up with foragers soon. And I used to think that you have to keep moving around your foragers, but no, apparently you can just move the berry bushes. So that was an advent of new information for me. We still have to get this well set up, and I'm kind of rushing on that. But let's also just gather some of these rocks. Now, my concern is, like, what if I run out of rocks? Because sometimes that happens. Like, there doesn't seem to be, unless if there is a quarry that I just haven't discovered, like, they can just keep going deeper underground. Could be happening. Could be happening. Eric, thank you for the sub. Running out of rocks is why the Stone Age ended? Yes, of course. So now we're in the Oil Age. Canon. Alright, so we've got our lane of houses. We've got our bushels of berries. And let's just get up, and here we go. Now, more people await word to join your settlement. I've not found it so hard to attract in migrants. Like, they be coming. They be coming. We're going to go ahead and put in... Let's keep our fertility overlay here, just because I don't want to get too much into the fertile, loamy soil. Loamy. Man, what is this? Tolkien? Feels good to say that soil is loamy. But let's put the houses across from each other, and I'm just going to leave one space between them. Now, I don't know if there's really an advantage to keeping everything super dense, but I want to give myself room in case if I make mistakes. I do believe that they can walk between houses even without the space belt there, but, you know, I'm just... I like it when things are nicely spaced out, so I'm going to do it that way. Yes, the soil returned to its... Here it is. It is very loam. Right there. There we go. Now, I know that it looks kind of busy. Like, things aren't as crisp or, like, clean, maybe, as, like, a RimWorld, but I've found myself comparing every Colony Games art style to that now, and I have some, like, existential guilt over it, because not everything needs to be that way, you know? Like, this game is beautiful in that it kind of reminded me of the environmental graphics of Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. Probably a lot of you guys have played this game. Okay, here we go. Which was just one of my first favorite RTSs, and just a beautiful game. Okay, so as you can see, as I move the radius of the fishing hut wherever I designate that I want them to work, I'll just do that again in case if you're learning the game. Retarget building work radius here. The more, like, shore spaces that you're in contact with, the better a yield it gives you. So this seems like it could be very easily gamed. And I'm just going to go there because we have like 140%, which seems super OP. Now, it doesn't seem that we got any shoals either, but I was hoping we would, because then we would have gotten way more fish from that. Okay, so we're running dangerously low on food. I'm getting fish for the winter, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pause for a second because I can tell that I'm over-explaining. I don't want to build a graveyard just... Actually, let's build it, because it's not that much work. And we're going to need to, because I don't want all the bad things to spread. But let's also put it somewhere that's not really very desirable either. How about, like, right next to the town center? No, we'll put it, like, way over. Not really on the island. Actually, I really like our starting area. Let's put it, like, over here. Maybe something will grow out of the dead people. Now, we don't want too many burial points, because this is just like... Somebody might die randomly, which will be really funny, and I hope gets to happen. Just the causes of death in this game are great. Like, somebody getting mauled by a boar. I'm going to put a stockpile zone right nearby our town hall, because I think we'll end up using that. And I just want to make some room for shooting off other kinds of developments. Okay, I didn't have quite enough room for my houses. When do we start defending ourselves? We won't really have to defend ourselves from any major raids for probably a few years. And the years will pass by fast because we've already got halfway through the first one. And I know that seems like it's moving fast, excuse me, but years do go by very quickly in this game. Okay, so the Forager Shack, I'm still kind of contemplating how well I understand. It will work like the fishing shack, except for whoever works in it is trying to get berries out of the earth. We'll put it right here, just in the... actually, you know what? I'll put it near the graveyard. You can pick berries and talk to the dead people. We'll just put this here. I can't really see the outward-facing arrow. There it is. Okay, now it's facing the right way. Firewood is low. Now, we do want to make sure that we've got a guy on firewood. Okay, so job designations. Now I'm going to go ahead and compare it to RimWorld / your favorite colony sim. So we've got one firewood splitter. We just want to make sure that this guy is actually doing stuff because I've had people die of exposure so fast and it's not very funny. So we've got one person there, but we've got no logs in storage. So is that true? Yeah, it seems that we've got no logs in storage. Okay, so that's not great. We will start to harvest more of these. Can I do this? Yeah, so some of these I've already targeted from when I was doing that. Just, let's, like, examine our villagers just to see what they're doing. Good, they're chopping down the wood, so they are getting firewood. I want to make sure that we've got this done before winter, because we've got 5 months of food left, but our fisherman is pretty much going to take care of all of that. Where is our fisherman? Make sure we've got our fisherman fishing. Good, we've already got 45 fish, so this person is making plenty of resources. Fish count, 305. Fishing productivity, 260%. Fantastic. Oh, all of the deaths will be funny. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no one has ever died a serious death in this game. People will just get dysentery and they'll be like, I'm fine, 2 minutes later. Let's see, so fertility, 75%. You may be able to change this because your farmers can really do a lot to turn the soil. We've got some good, we've got migrants, we've got plenty of room for them. Like I said, it's not very hard to get new colonists if you do start to run low on them.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Probably gonna have to get back to you on that one, honestly, because it's like there is a list I have written down somewhere. Triple G, thank you for the 300 bits. And Very Scary Cherry. And Girl Kisser 4000, thank you for the subs. Food stocks are low. Yeah, who is the imposter right now? Who is eating all of the food? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just, we were doing better with food before. We were honestly doing way better with it. I don't know why this is happening to me. Now, in my first colony, that one that I showed you was not my first colony. In my first colony, everyone died of starvation. So, it was a happy ending. But I'm going to go ahead and make a smokehouse here, because what I think is going on is we're getting this fish is just not being smoked. So let's go ahead and we'll put it somewhat near to the fishing area. So we're right there. So let's just create a short workflow loop right here. And I don't want to get in the way of this thing, but yeah, there we go. Harvest this. See, there's weird, just strange stuff where, like, they haven't designated that they should cut down this tree that's right in the middle of the road, right in front of our city hall. I think that would be a rather obvious thing. But no. But in fact, no. Not a very cash money idea. Bustling market would help. Now, the game does kind of get ahead of you. It's like, why don't you get some gold ingots? It's like, where am I going to find gold ingots right now? And then you figure out that all of your villagers have just been carrying gold ingots around with them. But there are certain resources like gold that we'll need to wait until we get a market to do, and that'll come in good time. But basically, the main thing that I'm trying to do right now, besides just like make sure that everyone doesn't starve to death in the next 20 minutes, for which I'm getting the smokehouse and we've got the fish. In fact, we'll do another fishery because we're going to need it and people are already moving in. We're trying to upgrade our town hall because life is an economic grind of just making larger buildings, really, is really the truth. We don't want to overfish one area, so this is why this was such a fantastic spot to start. But I'm just going to go ahead and turn that around. I know, famous last words, right? It always happens to me. Oh, look at that nice tree going down, though. Did you see that? The tree falling animation where it went perpendicular to its original. I liked that. Wasn't that nice? It kind of maybe that's why it reminds me of the Lord of the Rings game, because there were those animations where you would like tear down the forest when you played as Isengard or Mordor, and it was just so satisfying to change the landscape. Maybe that was why. I was trying to figure out why I was getting vibes from that game. Besides the fact that I just really liked Lord of the Rings as a kid, like everyone did. Here we go. Okay, so we've got up the graveyard, very essential item to place. We've got the, good, we've got the hash-slinging slasher coming out of here to harvest some berries. Now, what we'll start to do a little bit, I want to transplant some of these berry bushes nearer to this thing, because I'd like to see how this thing works. I'm not going to get overly obsessed with it, but I just think it's kind of neat that you can transplant the berry bushes, you know? Now, we'll do a little bit of testing here as well. Let's do it with a couple of them. But yes, as you can see, so the seasons are changing, as they do in real life, very much. We're currently coming into early autumn, and so if we had a field, which we don't... If I had a trophy... Timmy Turner's dad, anyone? Oh, God. So now they are building a field, or, I don't know, what is the word for it? Plowing a field. That's much better. And they're going to start to get all of the regular boy grass out of the field. So now, once this is cleared, we're going to be able to start designating crops for our rotation. Yes, tilling, thank you. So they're hash-slinging, slashing through the fields. And then we'll be able to get like a normal year-by-year crop rotation. But there we go. See, now we're destroying the environment, and isn't this nice and satisfying? We know that it's a colony type of game that we'll be right at home in. There we go. Is there actually a limited amount of clay in the deposit? Wow, I'll be damned. 3,764. Now, granted that's a lot of clay, but I didn't realize that it ran out. Now, there are, like... Let me just make sure. Is there anything that my villagers are supposed to be doing that they aren't? I've got to do this. Now, this game, like I said, has an emphasis on survival. When we get up to the markets, we have to actually wait for the trader to come and join us. Otherwise, we can't trade. So, it's not like you can just kind of turn on AOL and load up the internet in this game. You know, like, it really is kind of like a survival game. Like, that's why I was saying that before. I'm not just saying that. It really does exist in the game. Like, what will happen when I run out of these rocks to harvest? You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and harvest all of these rocks. I think it's a little strange to say harvest the rock. But, you know, so be it. My one kind of concern is upward scaling with this colony. I'm not sure if we'll really get to it, because I would say like 3 hours we'll be able to establish a decent colony. But there are some things like iron that I didn't really account for that we'll need to go farther away from home in order to get. But by that point, we'll be more self-sufficient. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. We've got low food stocks, but we're smoking a lot of fish. We're getting pretty good fish over here. Are we smoking the fish? Good. Emma, yes, she's doing nothing but smoking fish all day. Required materials, she's smoking meat. Smoking these meats. Meat, like, you know what I'm doing. Storage. It's really due to the limited amount of firewood. It appears to my eye that she is unable to do this. So what we really need to do then instead is just go ahead and designate more trees for harvesting. And this is why I am a concern. Because look at how many trees there are that we're going to need to destroy. We're going to need to destroy our entire environment. Now, we can replant these, and we can put up shrines and other things to make our land more desirable. But not with that. Yeah, I know, I've got a bad attitude. I'm working on it. But, you know, that's part of, like, the challenge of this game. So they have, in fact, replanted the bushes. Wow, such a courageous move to have made. There we are. I don't know why courageous. Maybe not courageous. I don't know, the words escape me. But let's go ahead and keep on replanting these hawthorns, because I'm finding that these berries and other things are actually quite useful. Alright, so I'm just going to keep an eye on our resources. We've got 5 months of food, which does mean that we will get through the winter. This is a concern here. Now, I think that fishing either slows down or does it shut down? Farming definitely shuts down for the winter. Like, when I tried this game, I was thinking, oh, like, start with farmers. That would be great. But in fact, no. We'll also get up one hunter's cab, or where is it? Hunter cabin. Now, the hunter cabin, I admittedly just struggle with this building. I can't really figure out, like, we will get attacked by predators, but it escapes me like where to just find people. So I just kind of leave one up for good measure. But this is one that I might have to learn a little bit more as we play the game. But it works pretty much in the same way. Ooh, new villager born. Pretty much in the same way as the fishing and the gathering. We've got more immigrants. I'm not really worried about losing people. We can zoom to event. I haven't really done this much, but we can take a closer look at our colonists too. We've got linen clothes, hide coats, shoes, and we can start to manufacture better, warmer clothes, things to make them move faster and so on and so forth. And we have like diet, warmth, their overall happiness. We haven't gotten any beer yet, but we can. Age 50, idling, unable to work. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of our people again. We've got a lot of laborers in this colony. So one thing I'm going to do just here for the first winter is just designate, I'm going to add another person to splitting firewood because I want to make sure they have plenty of firewood to keep them warm and also smoke those meats. Maybe like a brisket. There we are. Stocking smokehouse. We've got 11 out of 60. Good. Now we're full on the firewood. And now it's really just the fish. So we've got our workflow up where we want it. Got another 4 months of food. Why are we running so low on food even though that I tried so hard and got so far? In the end, it's like it didn't even matter. Now we can't have another person as a fisherman, but we can just keep on kind of designating other fishy areas because this does appear to be a little bit fishy. I might even just do a third one of these if I don't catch up with the amount of fish that's happening right here. I think that if we did a productivity 180% right here, that is quite a high number. 190%. 190%. Let's keep on looking. 130%. Yes, incidental Lincoln Park reference. Only because we're basically building Lincoln Log. You think Abraham Lincoln listened to Lincoln Park? And he was just like, yes. I have a proclamation. That kind of sounds like a Linkin Park song, right? Predator sighted. That was a South Park reference if you didn't get it. Okay, so yes, now this is my favorite death. Oh, wait, he might actually die. Unfortunately, the other villagers weren't able to save him. Wait a second, Rutholf. You know what? Like, I would probably die if my name were Rutholf, too. Rutholf the Red. I haven't actually seen this. This is like prime memeage. Oh, he made it back into his hut. He did. The smooth boy made it out. Yes. Good job, Rutholf. I didn't even see it happen like that. Now, yes, villagers will just kind of defend themselves with their hands. He was, like, using Scratch, like he was level 5 Charmander right there. But, is that him? He's like, can I leave my house ever again? Okay, so now we are starting to get some of that beautiful, ambience. I don't know. Whatever it is. Oh, there he is. He's not afraid. Not afraid to leave the house anymore. Now, he'll get better. But yeah, he had a pretty bad encounter with that thing. Now, they will run into their houses, but we should probably get one guard house up because we do have some things up to defend ourselves. Now, or is there cannibalism in this game? Now, there was cannibalism in Going Medieval, which was just very out there. Oh, I should also get this saw pit. Now, the saw pit is useful because we are going to need planks to start doing stuff with our lives. I just want to make sure I give myself a little bit of space here. Maybe a little bit more than that. Now, I will start to build a guard post, because that was actually a little stupid of me. I should have had one of those up. We're at 2 times speed now. There we go. Now, they will start to kind of retreat inside in the winter, and I'm just going to, I'm just going to sit here because I love the look of this type of thing in a game. I just think it's beautiful. Like, 10 out of 10 picture. I can't really make it into like a beautiful YouTube thumbnail because snow just looks very like monochromatic. You know, you just get this kind of like warm glow from the huts. But just as a visual, I think that this is pretty. Particle effects. If I were a game dev, I would take great satisfaction in having created something like this. I mean, I tried to keep my voice quiet because I just think that the sound of snow is like it deeply touches something in my soul. It reminds me of back when I lived in cooler climes, which I do miss from time to time. Good for a vacation. But anyway, let's go ahead and build our, where is it? Defenses. Okay, so here's how guard towers work in this game. Basically, you want to get, like, your village walled in, but we're still expanding our village, so we won't do that. Basically, you get one guy who you just kind of employ as a soldier, and you pay him gold. We don't really have any gold because we aren't collecting taxes yet. Gold is a little bit fishy. But we just kind of want somebody looking over our houses, because when our villagers are in trouble, they're running home. And I guess we'll put it at the town center. Maybe that guy at the very edge of town won't really be very well defended, but that's okay, because he doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and put this, like, there. And what we're seeing is these numbers, so +3, +2. I believe that's height advantage. So, like, over here, it's slightly higher than where it is on the right. Like, this is lower ground, this is higher ground. And he gets a +4 for shooting over there. So, if we had, like, a very tactical hill, that would be nice, but we don't. And right now it actually is going to cost 10 gold to create, so I was stupid to do that early. But we will start to get gold as we get... I'm trying to think of the first place where we get gold. We will start getting it soon, but we need to get a market, and we got to reach higher population. So let's go ahead and start doing that as well. Let me just get the fertility overlay again, so we can kind of build out this row a little more, so let's do that. It's so hard to see everything in the winter. The road construction I would like to... Like, if I start building a road on itself, for some reason I can't build the road. A couple little wonky things in there, but... Overall, it works. Housing. Doot, doot, doot. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of a reminder of Tropico. I never actually played Tropico. I keep getting all these requests to do Tropico because of all the retro stuff, but alas, I can't relive that part. Yeah, something surreal about the sound of snowfall, I agree. Maybe not surreal. Maybe just like... Yeah, but I don't know. I like the word surreal, so I'm inclined to agree with you. Yeah, I like your word choice. Now, I did see them kind of go into their houses last year, but the thing I want to draw attention to is the fact that, can you all congratulate me, because my villagers aren't all dying of exposure. This did happen to me in one of my villages. We came back, but if you run out of firewood, I noticed that villagers drop like that in this game. They drop like flies. And it's actually kind of funny how fast they die. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel realistic, but also to think of people living through that long a winter. I know the seasons go by fast, but keep in mind that time is going by quite fast. Now we've got another predator here. We've got our guard tower going up soon, so, you know, I've had a couple of people die when they get mauled by a bear, which is honestly kind of funny. Honestly kind of funny because they're going to get replaced so fast. I do wish that there were like a little bit more emphasis on villager social life here, because it feels like there's so many things going on, like family, health, luxury, food, clothes, desirability, like all these things. And the systems are not a chore to mess with, but it's a little bit hard to get real-time information, I've found, with the game. Not to say that any of it has been like in the way of having fun with the gameplay, but one thing that I've noticed a little bit with this game, and I'm inclined to reserve judgments here, is just the fact that it's in early access, but it does feel a little bit like, oh, now I build the blacksmith place, now I build the city hall. But I also haven't gotten into extensive combat, and I'm trying to figure out where that kind of longer term conflict takes place in the game. Anyway, just a thought. You know, I don't like to have a conniption over everything, but it's just, I don't know, it would be interesting to see that, because I think that this game is really beautiful in a lot of those ways, and just any more ways that I could really care about the buildings. I do find that things kind of look all the same, too. Like, the smokehouse looks very much like this, and they don't need to be so differentiated, but it does, at least the first time when you play it, it does feel a little bit like visually a lot is the same. Though that's also maybe just because I'm at about 3 or 4 hours into the game. Anyway, all that aside, let's go ahead and start moving over more of these berry bushes, because I don't want to have to keep redesignating where our forager has to go to get this stuff. And it does appear as if we're getting a good amount of food now. Now, we are getting food spoilage. I'm trying to figure out why this is. We've got eggs in there. We've got some vegetables, greens. We want to start to vary up the food source types. I haven't noticed, like, disease or anything. Like, they could pretty much just eat smoked fish, and, like, they're all going to die when they're, like 30 anyway in this game. No, actually, that's not true. Like, they will live for a while, but I haven't noticed any, like, health problems due to lack of dietary diversity, so I'm just... I don't know if that's true, though. I haven't extensively explored it. But yeah, people get, like, dysentery, and then they're just like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I was kidding. I was just kidding. Gosh, you guys can't take a joke. Cringe. Cringe. Unhappy. I can't tell why everyone's happy, though. Shoes. Okay, shoes and clothes. So we haven't really built anything. I've just been giving them the winter to kind of catch up with work. Because, you see, they still haven't really gotten caught up with this farm yet. Anyway, so we've got a storehouse now. What do we have so far? We have the stockyard. Okay, so this is more for everything. Stockyard is more just for, like, building materials. So let's go ahead and just rotate this. We'll put it near the other one because I figure why not have all of our supplies in a very similar area. And the root cellar is going to be good for, I believe it's like, it might just be everything, but I think it's for, like, fruits. And, actually, let me go reread that one. Is that one just vegetables? Food at a reliable... Okay, so just everything. Now, we don't have barrels yet, but eventually, someday, we might get barrels. Maybe if you think and wish and hope and dream it'll come true, we'll get them. And I'm just going to leave space in between all of these for, like, more roads. Isn't that nice, the way that the road kind of diagonally makes its route out toward the other roads? See, this is an issue, though. Like, there's no road here. Why can't I do that? I mean, at least to me, that seems problematic. So now we just have this awkward space of grass. Now, you can debuild and rebuild, but I don't want to do that. I'll just leave it as it is. Firewood splitter saw pit. We got one of those. Now, compost yard, everyone is pooping. You may not see it. You may not feel it, but they are. I'm going to go ahead and put the compost yard somewhere near to the farms, but also far away from anything that needs to be desirable. I don't think that this will pollute the river, but I honestly am not 100% sure, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Because, yeah, we're going to need the compost. Anyway, the compost will help out with fertility and stuff like that. Let's make this road, like, one thing I will say, though, despite all the flack I've shared about the roads, they do kind of curve nicely, and they look somewhat organic, so that is nice if you want a game that does that. This does that quite well. Let's see. Yeah, a little poop in the river never hurt anyone. I think the fish are okay with that. And now we can start to build up Fletchers. We'll just build up a couple of these workshops just here along the outskirts on the outside. Fletcher obviously makes arrows. Or if you play RuneScape, stands at the bank. Let's see, what else? Resources, walls and roads. We don't really need too many defenses right now. We don't have any, like, domesticated animals. And I'm inclined to not start doing a lot of the, like, decor stuff, only because it just... It's only for Town Hall level 3 that you start to need to make things look nice. Amenities and services. We already have one graveyard, just as kind of like a warning. Okay, so let's start to see what we need for Town Hall level 2. We're going to need a market. So I believe that the market is here, and we need to build the storehouse, which we're putting up the storehouse. We're putting up the saw pit, right? Yeah, so we're going to need a lot of planks for that. So we really just need more wood. We'll give our villagers time to harvest all the stuff, because look at all that they haven't done. It's quite a lot of work that needs to be done, but still hasn't been done, you'll always find in this game. But, you know, I haven't really figured out as your villagers scale. So... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no fishing range. I forgot to do this one. Here we go. So we'll try to just max this out. Plus 10%. Did I neglect square meterage when I did this? It still says very good fishing productivity. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, overfishing areas. Maybe I said that wrong, but I've noticed other people do this kind of strategy, too. Am I misled? I'm trying to see if anybody notices anything that I'm just totally neglecting. Please go ahead and say it in chat, because I'm just like, I make mistakes. I make a lot of them, and I'm sure that there are things that I'm missing. The other thing I would want to draw attention to is I don't want to build too many buildings, because I want to make sure I leave some people as laborers. In my first village, I had everybody on jobs, and then just nobody was doing like basic building and tasks like that. So we've got a couple births. Chimera and Vicky. All the children have like adult faces when they're born, I swear. Was she born with... I thought that was beer. I'm like, this is a very, very colonial... Oh my god. Yeah, back in college we used to have a day called Drink Like a Colonial Day, where we just said the water isn't clean. So from the moment you wake up, you do that once a year and it's just a great time. Okay, so good. We've got the storehouse going up. We've got this thing. We might actually be getting too many planks. That is why. So I'm going to take somebody off of cutting wood planks, because it's good to have wood planks because they're important. Predator sighted. No, I'm not quite sure how to react to this type of thing, like when a predator comes up. Besides just having a tower over there, you can start to train troops, but it's very expensive to do that. And somebody said, why fletch in the comments? Fletching just so that we have arrows for when we eventually can get up this guard tower. We do have some arrows on us in our stockpile. What is this? Oh, some of these reports are rather useful, and I've just not looked into them. Decent graphs. Honestly, a lot of good takeaways. Villager killed by a predator. See, again, like, I don't really know how I could have reacted. I can't individually command... I take that back. I didn't know that you can individually command your villagers. Okay, awesome. I don't really know much of why you would do... Maybe because one of them is being attacked by a predator. But you know what? Like, at least we had our Mimi predator death. He couldn't get to the chopper. Yeah, or whoever it was. We don't really... Alara, what was her occupation? 34. That's kind of young to die. Damn. Alright, well, she was just a farmer. I mean, like, they'll kind of replace her. Like, they all just kind of default to that in this game. Mostly we won't remember you. Alright, we can build a market now. Let's ignore that and move on with our lives. So since I think I'm going to be using this area for farming, let's have a word about the market. Honestly, the market is kind of funny because it's not the same as a trading post, so I really don't get why this thing exists. Like, you'd think that traders would come here, wouldn't you? Au contraire. Doesn't really work like that. But it does improve the desirability, and I believe it does... Does it collect taxes? I'm not sure. Taxes are still kind of an area I'm learning. Okay, anyway, let's put that down. Fortunately, because we had no wood, we have so many planks, and I think 2 people on planks should be plenty. Yeah, so remember how I said before that villagers just kind of randomly have gold ingots in their pockets? We're going to start to learn about that as we go now. Ritual corpse eating. Haven't seen it yet, but, you know, it is still in EA, so it's not too late. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Like, I just find it's very... this is, to me, a game that I'm going to go ahead and say, like, it's just a very chill, ambient early access game if you like the idea of watching a seed grow into a massive city. Like, we're still pretty much at survival phase, like, small town phase, but this can become a huge city. So that's, to me, that's the major selling point of this game. I don't know, since we've been doing a lot of games as, like, one-offs lately, I've just sort of been thinking of them as, like, maybe you should check this game out. We did Terminus the other day, and that was pretty cash money. Let's see.
An unfortunate number for the unfortunate existence that is being part of the unimportant, unwashed masses of your peasantry.
You know, you had to put it out in words. You were right, I was a little too nonchalant about that, though. Ether, thank you very much for the sub. As well as Shiny Lizard. And the Wettest Bandit and the Spook Dookie. Jugular Pluto, and Graham Doolin, and the Pirate Guy. Thank you guys very much. Took me a minute there. Sorry, I got so into the action. Now we can get some barrels. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this one out because I don't fully understand this myself. Monthly income 11 gold. So we are getting that 11 gold, and we aren't paying anybody yet because, screw them. A building where household goods are stocked by a grocer and distributed to houses, saving time for working villagers. Oh, actually, that is quite useful. So then there is a reason to put this thing in the middle of everything. So I guess market and school in the middle of all the villages. Huh. They generate tax revenue and increase the desirability of surrounding houses. Okay, so that's great. My plan is to kind of get a quad of houses over here. You know, like four-sided. Will be nice. But I've noticed like a yearly gold tax collection. Just funny to me that everybody is kind of like sitting on these gold ingots. And they're just kind of like, well, we don't, and how come we need gold to build a guard tower post? Maybe it's because, like, gold is just sort of used as this one-size-fits-all currency in this game. Much as it has been throughout the history of humankind. Villager born. Another one. We're getting a lot of birth in this village. Well, I mean, what else are they doing with their time? So, barrels, I thought you could get barrels earlier, but apparently it's a very late game item. I was just like watching a couple of other people's videos and they had these huge cities and they were like, huh, it would be great if we could build a barrel. I was like, all right, I have no guilt over what I couldn't do. Yep. All right, so now what we're seeing is a guard tower. Storage is empty. We do have one guy working in this. I think one is all we really need. Now these buildings will start to upgrade themselves. Additional range damage, increased durability. I'm not sure if it says toggle building production. Does it say monthly cost is 5? Now that seems like a lot of money to pay for a single guard tower. 5 gold a month? Think about that. That's half the tax revenue from the entire village. Like one guy is just sitting in a tower and asking everybody to pay him 5 gold. Do you know how much money that is? Like, translating with inflation? That's like... How much is that? How much is one, like, giant gold bar worth? It's gotta be a lot of money. That's, like, tens of thousands of dollars every week just for a guy to sit in a tower and look at everyone and do nothing. So, a little bit what has become of the world. But look, now the guard tower is at least defending us from... Well, hopefully defending us from this bear. We're not really even doing a very good job. He's not even opening the window either. But yeah, there goes the bear, and this guy lost only half of his life force. So, I mean, that's what the guard tower does, and then the bandit raids are pretty laughable when we get that. I'm just trying to kind of strategically consolidate my town so that we don't have too much of that. But yeah, I think after this winter, can we start to... They're almost done with the farm. Once we do that, then we'll start to get in our crop rotation. Okay, so at this point in time, we can start to think about upgrading our town hall. And we are getting a decent amount of wood. We have a lot of firewood. That's fantastic. I think we just want to keep people on laboring and continue to cut down all of these trees. Yep. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I haven't really gotten into forestry replanting, but why does it cost gold to plant a tree? That's sus. That's a sussy baka. That's a sussy baka. Who is the I think that the guy in the guard tower is the imposter. But yeah. Anyway, where are we with this? A lot of it is a waiting game here, and I guess that's my one kind of... How long have we been playing now? We've been playing about slightly under an hour now, but there is kind of a good deal of watching and waiting, and it does that's why I think of it more as like a relaxing game. So even though that you've got the combat in it, I do find that tends to be a thing, and I'm kind of wondering how they'll manage that energy in early access, because it kind of is making me think of going medieval. Ah, the beautiful melting of the snow. Nice. But it is beautiful, you know, you gotta admit. More villages are immigrating, so we're really not having any issue, despite the fact that people are just dying all over the place. 288 work left to go on that.
Leo's turkey neck is a sussy baka.
Cannon. Thank you very much for the 300 bits and reminding me of that. I'll bring that up with Drunk when I see him next. Thank you, Compost Guy. Resources.
Woohoo, indeed.
Hey, Uncle Clumsy, thank you very much for the 10 months. Okay, 50 wood planks. So let's go ahead and see our planks are. And woohoo, indeed. Yes, they are. Now let's put on another person here because now we're starting to get a lot of this. My thing is just, maybe we should... No, I don't want to get people off of firewood. It's kind of like managing these flows. Villager is sick with dysentery. Pictures are priceless. Now he goes home and we can get a healer hut, but I'm going to abstain from getting a healer hut for a little while. We're going to get Weenie Hut Juniors first. Get it? Oh, that's so funny. No, it's not very funny at all. Whoa. What is this information? No fish in range. Wait a second, have I overfished the fish? No. I didn't actually know this was a thing. I never overfished the fish before. Fish count 0. Oh, we're in big trouble, guys. This actually didn't happen to me because the body of water that I was using in my tutorial city was way bigger. Okay, we're in huge trouble. We're going to die now. Yup, we're definitely dead. Well, okay. This is actually kind of wonderful and fantastic. I didn't know that this existed. Alright, yeah, so we've completely overfished the fish. I don't know how the fish are replenished. I'm assuming it's by body of water, but I really can't figure out. I had like a huge pond in which the fish just kept coming back. So there you go. I'm learning as we go through this video too. I like the idea of a river, but I guess like a bend in a river, if you can find that type of thing, is your best bet. But yeah. I don't know, I was trying to figure out if I could game that system, and... Well, there you go, you see me fail. Anyway, I'm gonna let the people heal themselves because they're big, strong boys. And we're gonna go ahead and, we got 3 more planks, and then we can upgrade the town center. So what this is all kind of led up to is, I've pretty much maxed out every single building that we can do here. I think there might be a little bit more. Yeah, there's the tannery. I'll put down a couple more of these workshops. I don't believe that these are going to cost us any of our very valuable planks, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now, the tannery is going to give them clothes to work better in the cold. Cobbler shop will make them faster with shoes, so we'll do that. And, I mean, some traders will be willing to pay a lot for some of these items, so a basket so that they can carry more stuff around. But the idea is that, look, we don't really have a lot of gold. We don't have much gold income, and some of the buildings here are going to cost us a lot of gold. So what we're going to need to do is make a lot of one thing, like baskets or arrows or something that some trader doesn't have a lot of, and then trade them for a big income of gold. And that's going to kind of jumpstart the rest of our colony. So if we can just get one more plank, we can finally upgrade this thing. Ooh, and we've got crops ready for assignment too. Pottery too. I don't know, I mean, it's kind of like that early medieval world, you know, like growing whatever you have a lot of access to. Okay, so I don't firmly grasp this screen myself, but I'm going to do the best job I can at explaining it. Town center is ready to be upgraded. I mean, for me, I'll just remark that the menus in this game seem to have a lot going on in them. But, wait a minute, why did I use up 25 planks? Oh, because I used up 30 planks on this. Hang on a second. Disembark on this. And this, I want those planks back. I just want my town center before I do that. Okay, so they're going to need to put these planks back into storage. Hopefully we got back all of those. In the meantime, while they're getting those planks back, I'm going to go ahead and just try to explain this. So we've got the fertility level on the soil. If you know anything about farming, some crops like drain the soil and other ones kind of replenish it. That's literally all that I know about it. If you know more about it, please let me know. But you do have, like, you're managing the seasons, you're managing the rockiness, weeds, and so on and so forth. Now, you can't just have your farmers do field maintenance, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of that before we get started with anything else. And then we'll plant, like, we'll plant these clovers. Now, I'm thinking, well, we run out of fish. We've got 10 months of food. That's good. I hope that we're smoking enough of the meats. Yeah, a lot of it is, like, berries. Other stuff. Maybe not so useful, but I mean, we haven't farmed this yet, so I want to get rid of some of the rocks and stuff. And are they going to get rid of the rocks? Chance to reduce weed levels and remove rocks from the fields. Okay, so hopefully they'll do that. And then next year, I've just found that rye and weed have been useful, but we'll also plant some, like, vegetables, because we have to get machine parts if we want to start grinding that up. So we might just be better off with, like, normal beans and carrot boys and stuff like that. Now, it is very easy to accidentally delete the entire field when you're in this menu, so I would recommend that you not do that, because I did it before. You just click on this button to delete it. A little bit like the menus, there are some things, like I was saying, that are a little unintuitive. Like, these feel a little bit busy, and it's kind of unclear where I'm supposed to interact with it. I guess soil mixture for carrot. You know, I should really probably just do... I should really do specialized fields, I guess. Like, I was just planting everything in one field like a madman before. But let's try to do this right. So we've got this. Let's see if there's a crop that works with our current amount of sandiness and clayishness in the soil. Whoops-a-daisy. Here we go. I was just clicking on everything. Okay, I'll take peas. So let's learn about peas. Peas do fine in the frost, not as well in the heat. Okay, so we could have them for that time of year. That works for me because it's like early spring. Let's also have peas here. But then we need to replenish this soil because see that the peas... Oh, actually, they do improve the fertility slightly, so they're pretty much like self-sustaining. Okay, fine by me. What does well in the heat then? Flax does pretty well. Flax is used to make linen. I mean, obviously we want to get a lot of different stuff going on in here. Though the amount of rockiness and... this is a whole new dimension. My god, how much rock do I need? Well then, let's just go ahead and not make a decision and plant... leeks? Nah, probably not leeks. Let's plant clovers, because clovers are just going to improve the soil more, make it even more fertile, and hopefully give us more yield. I'm okay with this. Try this. I don't want to be too ambitious with these fields. This is probably not the perfect way to do it, but farming in this game is quite involved, and I haven't had enough like turnovers and cycles in order to fully understand it. I feel like I've played for 7 years, but I still feel a little bit like a smooth-brained boy, because most of my food has come from fishing, which is now apparently all going to run out. Okay, well that'll be interesting. Are clovers a vegetable? I don't know. When I see that, I think 4-leaf clover. But that's probably completely wrong. What even is a clover? Yeah, I don't know. My knowledge of farming is restricted to RimWorld crops and an herb garden and some of the succulents that I have outside in my own garden. Here we go. 36 out of 56. Oh yes, we were going to upgrade our town hall. So let's go ahead and do that. But anyway, yeah, I admit that I am kind of a smooth brain on that, but there is a lot to this. But managing these things, though, if you enjoy that and you like seeing that go year to year, the thing is that it takes so much work to get even this small field up. Like you saw, it took them a year and a half just to get this land ready, and that's a very small patch, and the food doesn't really even keep very well. So that's why I've avoided farming a lot like the plague. Yeah, they aren't food or anything, much as I suspected. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite thing about this game's animations. It's an early access thing that you don't want to miss out on. Sometimes people's houses will just randomly go on fire. Like, I don't know why, they just go on fire. But then when people come over to put out the fire, like, they carry over buckets of water, or at least I think that was happening. But then there will be somebody outside of a burning house who is just hammering the burning house. So we're at, like, that time for early access when just the animations are... It's a good time is what I'm trying to say. I thoroughly have enjoyed it. Yes. Caymanids, hey, thank you for the 5 months. Planting the same crops at the same time together because it'll cause blight. I think, so what I forgot to say, this is rather obvious, but yeah, this is 3-year cycles. So... we've got year 1, then they'll go over to year 2, then they'll go over to year 3, and I've just kept these the same. I just want them to work on like the fertility and the rockiness every couple of years. Also, too, let's add sand. Wait a second. No, that's for that. Add a little bit of sand. That would be perfect. Perfect. Perfection. Okay. Anyway, I'm probably going to stick away from farming to a great extent because it's like, I'll just kind of let it happen and then focus on the fish. How is the fish industry? Okay, the fish have returned to the river. Actually, might be a river. I'm not honestly sure if it is. Let's go ahead and set an exploration point, though, just because we haven't already. Someone who's an idle laborer will go out here. And we can set out a few of these as well if we want. Are we actually at the map edge? We may be at the map edge. Okay, so maybe this is just a body of water to nowhere, which the fish will come in hopefully from the sea because I don't want to run out. But okay, so things slowed down for a bit, and now they're going to get a little bit faster again. So we've got all of our resources here. I think we're on a decent production. I wanted to make sure that we had a good amount of wood, which it appears that we do. I'm going to go start designating out more of these trees for downing. And it appears to me as if more trees just kind of spontaneously grow. Now, I haven't seen anything about, like, over-harvesting the forest. Maybe it happens. That would be very interesting. But we're just going to cut down everything.
Terrestrial aquatic animal content.
And ignore the consequences. Hey, Dino Predator and Cage Souls, thank you very much for the subs. And Seymour. Okay, so we've got lack of barrel. Wait, what does this mean? Building storage is full. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, actually, we don't really need too many of those things. We do have a decent amount of gold. But let's see what else we should build next. So I look at our village and I think to myself, we do want to start to prepare for more people. So let's go ahead and get some more houses in there. And we obviously won't need all of this land for farming, but we'll bring this out a little bit further, I think. What do you say? So that we get the desirability from the market. Let's do it. I think I'm just going to do boring Mr. Gridman. Housing. I do like the hotkeys in this game. They're simple and they work. B for building. An easy thing to mess up. But I do find myself using them without trying too hard or trying to memorize anything. So it is rather efficient. I guess we'll be more... Ain't that a bee? There we go. See what I did there? Because I pressed B for the building menu. Alright. Very funny. Thrilling. Thrilling. There we go. Good, good. Make it smooth, boy. Make it smooth, boy. Okay, we're in business now, I would say. We're coming into fall and winter. How is it already winter again? You know, like the seasons just passed like that. B. So I've got the houses. Now, we do want to eventually upgrade these things, but that'll take some time, so I'm going to ignore that for now. Okay, trading post would be a good thing to get next. So let's put that, I'm not sure if this really is affected by anything around it, so I'll just put it with all my other generic crap over here. Now, we can have multiple traders at a time, so we want to make sure that this thing is accessible. There we go. Good enough for me. We'll road it around. A rodeo. Like a rodeo. Right, I'm just gonna be completely serious for future streams. Nothing funny about a road. Oh look, ducks or geese. I haven't even seen this. They're flying in a V formation. Wow, they're breaking the air for one another. See, that's what I'm talking about the ambience in this game. Whenever I say ambience, I want to say ambiance. Ambiance. And then I feel like slightly French for saying it. I'm going to hold off on the school for a minute, though, because I want to make sure we get in a decent trade before we do anything else. I had a trader who was willing to pay me a lot of money for planks last time, and since we have a goodly number of planks, I think that'll be helpful. Root cellar. Where is our root cellar? Is that storing all of our stuff? We've got a lot of smoked fish in here. Smoking these fish. Hunters haven't found any game. Consider moving the hunting grounds to a new lot. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and randomly do this. I legitimately don't know what I'm doing with the hunter's cabin, but I hope that they find something over there. No fish in range. But is that just because of the seasons? The turning of the seasons? I guess all the fish just go back out to the sea in the fall. Oh well. Now, there is quite a lot of other water in here, so I'm not really so worried about that. But yes, it does seem that they're running a little bit lower. Maybe people will start starving to death. Rat catcher we won't really need for a while, and the healer's house is too expensive to get started on. I'm just kind of thinking of food. Secure place to store this town's gold. Haven't really had the issue with that yet, so I'm not too worried. The wheat storage might be good, and the wagon... Actually, the wagon shop, I do believe, will be useful. If not now, then in time, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But let's get the food production up. Okay, so the bakery... The thing is that the windmill I would like, except we need this machine part in it, and I got stuck there, because I would really like to be able to bake bread and stuff. The fruit trees sound good. I honestly haven't even done... Now we're starting to get to content that I haven't done yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put in an arborist building. Just hoping that something will go well. Environmental fertility factor. I guess we'll go closer, yeah, to the more fertile zones. So since I was doing farming over here, let's just put in an arborist building. 94%. That's a very high percentage, yes. More of that, please. Okay, but now we do need clay, so let's go ahead and have Clay Aiken. Here we go. Bakery. Where's my resource? Okay, so if we want to get clay, we're going to need the wagon shop, so this is one of the reasons I've been doing this. We've already got the town center tier 2, so we just need the wagon. So once they get out the wagon, then they'll be able to build this arborist building, and maybe that will help us with our vastly dwindling food stores. I've got a good number of people. We got 41 people in here, so I'm not going to worry too much more about food. But I am going to worry about running out. Okay, this is not working for them either. I hope that there's some food over here. Now, I haven't figured out if this is like an icon or something like that. Just to get bears in range or something like that. Or can they build these traps? Otherwise, we just won't have it. Yes, aching for clay. I'm aching for clay, too. Does anyone understand how hunting works and can explain it to me concisely? Otherwise, we might just not have it as a food source. Because, I mean, for my first colony, I will tell you what happened. I relied on hunting. It worked for about 20 minutes. And then everyone died because we were inland, and there were just no animals. Sometimes an animal would come by and maul someone, and it would be like, oh, food and a dead guy. But no, like with the rest of this, it just hasn't worked. Explore and find a deer node. Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't know that we had deer nodes. Okay. Well, then I'm just going to go ahead and begin doing that. Now, like I said, we did fine in the last village without it, so I'm hoping that the fish will come through. But it seems that the fish are dwindling day by day, so I am waiting on the day when we completely run out of fish. Good hunting zone. Oh, the little symbols and find. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, so we do have hunting zones. It must just be like the fish. Ah, here is a shoal of fish. I may actually expand over to this to see if it improves our luck with the fish. I know it's a little far away, but the fish just haven't been hopping out of the river the same way they were at the beginning. I am starting to panic. I'm just going to go into panic mode for a minute. Clay pit. Okay, here we go. Was aching for clay. I don't see what's wrong with having like 5 or 6 fishermen. The fish never seem to go bad anyway. Cobbler shop. Now, where are we at? Food. Forager Shack. Fishing Shack. Here we go. Now, this is going to be a long journey. But if we set off one villager to do this, then so be it. And again, we've set somebody off to explore. Can I actually find the person exploring? Because I do think this is kind of a fun thing to watch. Like, yeah. So, Coradane over here has got on his clogs. Shoes, not clogs. We'll try to make those, though. Animals move around are often attracted to a farm or orchard area. Oh, so maybe we start to get this arborist going. Then we'll get the rest of that happening. That would be nice, right? Of course it would be nice. Why wouldn't it be nice? We've got a couple of our villagers exploring, too. And this is why it's good to just keep a couple of people idle. The green animal herd symbol. Okay, this is helpful. Thank you. Willow bush. I do wish that they would differentiate these icons a little bit more. Or maybe they wouldn't be so many of them. Because it's a little bit hard to find what I'm looking for. It's like herbs. I think that the color coding is nice. The darkening when they're like inactive, when they're dead, that's good. So for the most part, I like. Deer sighting. Okay, that's great. All right. Maybe actually I take it back. Maybe I'm just bad at this game. When you're bad at the game and you just start complaining that it should be different. Yeah. Here's what I'm talking about now, though, about, I can't remember where I put the hunting shack. That's definitely the Forager Shack. Which one is the hunting shack, though? Okay, there we go. Hunter cabin. Over yonder. Go, I say. Let's see if he manages to come back with anything. Where is our hunter boy? I do like how you can jump, too. Okay, so good. He's got on his deer hat. Age 25. He looks much older than 25. They look old when they're young, and they look... Well, they always look old. All right, so is this a... Ooh, this may be a trader. Oh, our first trader. Yes. Oh, did you see what happened to his wagon? He just got sucked into a wormhole, and now he's T-posing without his torso. That's probably the best bug so far. Look, there he goes without his entire torso. He has an invisibility cloak for trading. Traveling merchant has arrived. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. So we want to start educating the children. And also feeding ourselves. All right. So I'm inclined to just give this guy whatever he really wants, which it doesn't look like we made out too well right here. We got 11 tools, and he's going to pay 30 for each of these. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some of this right now. Not like all of our stuff, but I want to do trading post. I wish that there were a better way to do... Can you type this in? Yeah. Okay, so we'll do like 5 of these, and that's going to give us... let's do like 7. I'm not sure how much we'll need tools for. I might end up regretting this, but here's how trading works. So basically, we've got to take the goods from our global stock and then put them in to the trading post. So someone needs to come over here with the 7 tools that I've designated for trading. And then that... Is this another trader? Yep, we've got 2 traders at the same time. Okay. What are they willing to pay? They're willing to pay a lot for our stone. I'm actually willing to do some of this only because we don't really need our stone as much right now. Like, it would be good. But they're willing to pay a lot for it. So I'm going to pay... I'm going to give them 24 stone. And that's going to be trader 2. So that's like Mr. Triangle Hat Boy. Beldar the Peddler, departing in 54 days. And Scorv the Butcher. So we're going ahead and moving these things into our trading area right now. But they're willing to pay different amounts for different goods. So you're going to pay me like a decent amount for this. Are you willing to take this? Are you buying? Trader is not selling. But what we're going to have to do is move things in and out of the stockpile. Oh, here we go. 30. So can we trade this? Are you willing to buy this from us? Yeah, you are. Okay, so we get 210 gold from that. Remember how hard it was to get gold? Like, that's just such a great way to jumpstart gold. So you're really waiting for a trader in the early game. Now we're moving over our stone. Looks like this lady is bringing over the stone. Great, in the wagon that we just built. And then we're going to go ahead and transfer back out the gold to our settlement. So then we can use that to pay for schools and defenses and buildings. Because everyone insists on being paid in gold bars, you know? Yeah. Yeah, great names. Like, I wish we got a little bit more of that, because it seems like whoever's in charge of the writing on this game, like Beldar the Peddler, what is that? That sounds like a legendary character from, like, Magic the Gathering or something like that. Like Volo, who is it? Something of monsters. I don't know, I haven't played Magic in a while. I'm getting an inkling that I want to now, though, with all of this high fantasy. Oh, this is really low medieval, but not high fantasy. Anyway, it's taking them forever to move the rocks around, as it should. But we are kind of getting our fish
Does THYN
back.
wish to educate THYN children? Take my shekels.
Thine. Hey, thank you for those. Hey, DJ. Hey, DJ, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Fish count 46. I think I'm just going to continue massively destroying the fish population. Does that sound agreeable to everyone? I certainly hope it does. Okay, are we producing any food? That's good. Oh, so we've got like other stuff that we can kind of forage over here. Let's go ahead and forage mushrooms and other stuff. Greens. Harvested by foragers. Some of these things can't be moved, though. I'm trying to figure out what can and can't be moved. Like, we had patch of herbs, we had hawthorn that we could harvest before, but now we can't. Or why can't we move it now? I'm trying to figure out. Like, we were able to move all of these bushes in here, and we're having a grand time with that. Yes, Volo's, well, also a D&D character. Primarily a D&D character. I haven't played D&D. Cowed Cat. Thank you for the sub. Other cool stuff that you can do. Because it is starting to get to the kind of grindy phase of this now. Well, I want to get this. Can anyone trade me machine parts? Actually, I forgot to see this. Can you do that? You have tools. You don't have machine parts. And the other boy is going away. Okay, I'm just going to sell everything for 168. Okay, and let's transfer the gold back to our storage. So it's a little bit like micromanagey, but you can. I hope you can see what I say, or what I mean when I'm talking about this being a survival game, which I think most people in my audience will like it, that they have to get a little bit more, in the weeds in order to get the survival going. My one concern is, how does it scale in a bigger town? Like when we get hundreds of villagers. Anyway, it does seem that we're keeping up with the food now. We're in mid-year. We got 7. Most of it's not spoiling, too. That was a concern. And we are starting to get beans out of the ground. Beans, everyone. I think we'll start to get another farm going, because it seems like people just keep coming into our town. Like, probably against their better judgment, considering the number of people that are bound to be killed by predators. Are we making this, like, more fertile? Fertility factor 100%. I'm trying to decide if I want to. I guess we'll have the rest of this for village areas, and we'll just take out some more of this. So I'll do doot and doot. There we go. Yeah, I want to give a little bit of room in the farms. The farms can be very beautiful if you put them all together, right? So I just kind of want to have a big square of those. I don't want to do too many, because otherwise it's going to totally redistribute my entire village. It looks like we're still waiting on those planks. But now we've got 105. I think I will put one more person onto plank cutting. There's like a very delicate balance here. We've got so much firewood. I may actually be able to take somebody off of firewood. I had so little firewood before, though, and it's horrible what happens if you run out of firewood. And it's not just used in heating homes. You see, it's used in, like, smoking fish, smoking these meats, and so on and so forth. What a square. You're calling me a square because I put my farms in a square? It is kind of squarish, this village, though. Villagers succumb to illness. Great. Good. Why do you have dysentery? What? Well, you couldn't move the bushes around, so you deserve to die. Alright. She deserved it to die. Okay, let me see. Now, though, that we have 445 gold, and once they catch up, barns are good for, like, domesticating animals, which I have not done yet, but looks quite good because they get more food sources. Apiary, is that how you say this word? No one has ever said apiary to me in a sentence. Or apiary? It's for bees. Is that like the Latin word for bees? Something with ape? Ape. Yes, ape is the word for bees. A gold mine. I didn't know that we had that. Work camp, I haven't really got use out of this yet. Soap shop would be useful because they wouldn't be so dirty. They need tallow for it, which I don't know where we get tallow, but we had it the last time, so I'm assuming that I'm doing whatever I need to do for tallow. Granary might be useful because I'm planning on doing that. But what I really wanted to do was amenities and services. I want to do a school because it's going to start to get us up to Town Hall level 3. And I'm going to put this in a very similar location to the last one, where let's put our market and our school like pretty much right next to each other. Because what you can see is that this is starting to increase the desirability of all the houses. And if we can get a bunch of them at once, then we're going to be ready to upgrade them. And then I believe that they become, is it homesteads? I'm not sure what the next name is, but right now these are just shelters. Tallow comes from animal fat? Yes, I figured. Soap is, what is soap made from? Animal fat, basically? I'm trying to remember where I learned that. I think it was from watching, you guys remember Mr. Moon from YouTube? the Candleman. Because otherwise I know nothing about soap making. The Candleman. Those were the greatest videos. Or that was just one video. He had a bunch of other things like that. Anyway. Hope he comes back. I don't know what he's up to now. Alright, so are you making food, Mr. Deer? Where is Mr. Deer? Oh, good. He's produced 240. Good, and he's got some tallow. So, although, like... Can we see... Where is this boy? Jostrum. Let's follow Jostrum around for a moment, shall we? Oh, look, a little deer. Oh, wait a second. I just accidentally commanded him. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. No. Waiting for command. Don't wait for me, Jostrum. Live your life, Jostrum. Ah, crap, I accidentally commanded him. Well, actually, this would be interesting. Why does he just stop? Okay, now he's going back to his life. Gathering carcass. It appeared as if he was going after the deer until I accidentally right-clicked. But to me, like, one thing that I would love to see in this game is, like, just a little bit more visual information on my villagers. Like, visual data, you know? Like, is this... Like, why did he just suddenly teleport on a pilgrim hat? It looks like he's going right to Thanksgiving dinner. What I'm trying to say is that it would be nice to get data that were easily visible about what he is doing. Because a lot of the rest of this game is like very what you see is what you get. And my God, the grass looks beautiful. Oh, Jesus. That was just a thought. Just a thought. But I don't know. Anyway, that's me kind of going on and on. All right, clay. Good, we got... we were aching for clay. Clay aching. Storage is empty. Clay 3,760. I guess we'll just leave 2 people on this because I don't want to get too much out of the ground at once, but maybe 3 or 4. That'll be enough, but definitely not 6. Seymour says his YouTube sent me the million play button yet. Nah, sometimes it takes a little while for it to show up on your dashboard. Soon, TM. Soon, TM. Other thing I would like to be able to do is I can't quite like rotate the camera all the way around. Like I can just do this. I can't what's the word? Like rotate it, like make it more vertical. Unless if I'm just a moron and I haven't figured it out. I'm pretty sure you can't do that though. But it's such a visually beautiful game that I would like to be able to do that. I think we're good right now. So I'll explore a couple of the menus here, but like I said, this was my one kind of concern in terms of like fun factor with this game, is that it does feel very much like relaxing factor, and I definitely get absorbed into it. But now I do find myself just watching my villagers a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a look at this smokehouse here, though, because are they smoking enough meats? Storage items produced in the last year. So then where do these things go? They go all kinds of places, I'm pretty sure. They go into the store, or they were going into the storehouse before, but are they all going into the root cellar? Okay, so they've got 243 of those in the root cellar. 258 total. Okay, so the root cellar is actually doing a pretty decent job carrying this stuff, and we've got only 515 out of 1,500 storage, which means there's plenty of more room for smoked fish. That, to me, says... Produced in the last year. 465, that's a lot. It seems like a lot. It's crazy to me that all the food gets smoked by one lady named Emma. Like, what if Emma dies? What if she's getting attacked by the predator right now? Nope, it's just Jostrum. He's supposed to get attacked by predators. Good job, Jostrum. Okay, we're probably going to get attacked by bandits sooner or later, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. They haven't really finished all their resource buildings, but I digress. Yeah, we've got to just get something up. I've noticed that the first attacks aren't so bad. Actually, do we want to be a little bit more original and just find... Let's do an experiment. So this costs 250. We've got 250. Let's just do it. Soldiers are trained and housed in barracks, which also serves as defensive structure. Soldiers need to deal with more heavily armored attackers. We don't really need this right now. But it's fun, and we aren't going to get so much further anyway, so I'm just going to do it. I'm probably going to put this... I want to make room for the rest of my village. I sort of just see this as a catch-all buildings area. So yeah, let's defend the outskirts of the village. And maybe like the farms. Maybe they have a little bit more room to kind of train in the fields out here. I don't know, garrison them, like move them around. Let's see if we can get some soldiers up. 5, and also 2, are we producing enough planks? And crazy to me, we've got 4 people on plank production, and yet we still are not creating quite as many planks as we could. And yet also, too, we've been harvesting these trees, man. We've been harvesting them. It seems to me that you don't, like, once you make one structure, aside from the fish, because it's just basic food for the whole village, and we haven't really done much else, you're usually fine with that amount of or with that number of structures. You know, like, you don't need to make 20 of one thing, so it is a little bit beginner-friendly in that way. I'll take some time and just admire it. Anybody have any points or questions that they want to make in chat? Things that we're not doing or things that we should do? In the meantime, I'll just kind of fan about here. Don't think the frontier is quite far enough. I agree. We could have had, like, Nearest Horizon. That would have been a good prequel to this game. Call for the death of my enemies. Now, there are raiders. It's just like some nefarious-looking guy with a shield on his back. You might not really notice a big raid when it happens, or it might just be like, you've been raided. There were 5 of them. No one died. Like, it might just wind up like that. So not to try to disappoint or anything like that, but that was how I saw the first raid. In fact, I'm also just going to put up one more defensive hut here just because we do have quite a lot of village over in this direction, and I don't want everyone to die. A little too much overlap there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Defend the school. Oh, I should have turned that the other way. Hang on a second. Let's delete that. It is tempting to build so many things and just not take care of it. I want to try to keep my flows decent, which I haven't really done a great job at it, but whatever. If I hire soldiers that cost 20 to 30 GP per month and pay them, they take your inventory, take all the inventory and leave. Yeah, so I might just end up not hiring any soldiers once we get the barracks up. I wanted to do it because it's just like a new thing that I haven't done, so now I am in exploring mode. But yeah, generally speaking, we just kind of want to rely on guard towers. We might have one soldier, or I might just deactivate that building. Is my name Robert? Yes, my name is Robert. Frogs go Robert. Need an arborist to plant more trees? Well, what have we here? What have we here? Plant apple trees. Can we plant, like, non-fruit trees? Just trees? Building that employs an arborist. An arborist will work at this building and maintain and harvest fruit trees nearby. Let's plant everything, can we? Oh, we actually have to individually plant all of the trees. Wow. It doesn't really cost gold to plant the trees, though. That's good. Can we just build it away from our radius, too? Let's go find out. Build the apple trees everywhere. Plant this and the other things. I don't know. Let's just see let's try to break the game a little bit. Because I feel like I've shown you guys a lot of the basics. And I do want to see I'm not afraid to fail here. I think it would be fun if everyone died because one bear bugged the entire village and he just made it through. Now let's have some of the memey good stuff. Let's really try to break the game. I found it wasn't so easily broken, but also, too, we might run into, like, some sort of overpopulation. Building attacked. Oh, no, this is actually quite bad. Oh, no. She's retreating. Hadn't thought of that. That building getting attacked by a bear. I guess it makes sense. The fish building gets attacked by a bear. I believe trees help moisture in the soil and cut everything might affect it. I mean, it seems fairly easy to plant these. Have I gotten into the economic nitty-gritty? Not into, like, the deep trading. I've got into a little bit of the tax collecting. Like, just everyone happens to have gold bars. But no. But that is the area that this game... We probably won't see that today. Because there's just not enough time in, like, one stream. Let's see. Can we do one boy in there? So this guy's going to cost us... Yeah, monthly cost is going to be 8. So that's more than we actually have right now, and recruitment cost is... Oh, I just paid a lot of... Am I paying 25 gold whenever I do this? It doesn't appear as if I am, but... Do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, okay, it's good to know that we can have an army if we want, but we don't need one right now. Probably we could just procrastinate. Here we go, yearly taxes collected. Services, soldier training, okay. Well, we are in the positive. We'll try to keep it there. I haven't seen, like, the breakdown of society, but that would be interesting. Food stocks are low. I mean, other than starvation, you know, like, no one is paying us for anything. Villages are succumbing to illness. People are dying. We also did forget to do a soap shop. And I'm also probably just going to hire a teacher. Can we get one teacher? I had this issue before, like, who can educate people in a town where everyone is not educated? It's kind of like a positive feedback loop of moron. I'm not sure if we're actually able to hire anyone for this yet. I may have to leave that one. Loeger, good, you can work in the market. Yeah, this one I'm just stuck on. Toggle building production. Yes, produce children. Did I do that? Slot is enabled, okay. Yeah, this did happen to me in my last village, I just realized. So yeah, our school will just remain unfilled. It may take some type of, like, teacher migrant or something like that. I don't know. Not honestly sure. Does anyone have any information? Just the hillbilly, like the hillbilly paradox. Like, we're all just stuck, you know, being kind of a dingus for a long time. Yes, extending the cycle of ignorance. I mean, currently we've got homeschooling, so, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Have I not shown you some of the menus? You can flatten the terrain. I've not done this, but we don't really have any hills here. Because sometimes it can be a bit like, you can't ever build a school on a hill. Will this be the next YouTube video? I might legit do this on the main channel if I get an idea. But right now I'm just finding it's fun exploring it. I swear, guys, I can't... There's too many games that I just don't even have time to play everything sometimes. But I would like to bring more of this stuff back. Like, Going Medieval last year, for example, was one that was like this. Was quite fun to do, and also, you know, like, people were interested in it. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, there needs to be some interest in a game for me to want to do it. Like, I don't just always do the most obscure stuff. If it were up to me, I would be doing SSX Tricky right now. I love SSX Tricky. Let's go ahead and start upgrading our roads. But I do occasionally get time for a game like that. Like, we just did Pikmin. That was a great time. But I also just do kind of legitimately enjoy the whole creative process of writing a story on a game. Anyway, if you have any Q&A, I will be doing a video on that too. I haven't really spoken to folks directly on the main channel in a while. Peas have been eaten by local, or it's all just been gaming videos. It's gonna be just nice to kind of do a channel update. Are we happy? Why are they happy anyway? Oh yeah, so one thing that I've completely neglected to do, this is not good. Let's go ahead and make everyone some shoes. Do they have shoes? Tannery, cobbler. We do have a cobbler shop though, don't we? Is there a cobbler in? Fletcher, tannery, wagon. Oh, alas, no. No, I forgot. Okay, I didn't make a cobbler shop, did I? The fool. Cobbler shop. Okay, here it comes. Obstructed by a fruit tree. Sorry, sir, we couldn't make the shoes. There was fruit in the way. Traveling merchant has arrived with new goods. Do you have machine parts? You have iron ore. That's quite good. Tools. Maybe I could make this into machine parts. Oh, wait a minute. I can scroll? All right. Guys, just don't listen to anything I've said this entire stream. I didn't know that you could scroll through this menu. But isn't that not very obvious, though, to see? Okay, well, that was most of the goods that he had anyway. All right. I don't feel quite as stupid as I did before. But there are so many... Ander Plains Rider. There are so many goods in this game. It's actually quite dizzying at this point in time. Like, I don't really know where to go. Who am I, even? You know what I mean? Have we finished this field? Ah, here we go. A building is on fire. Okay, my favorite animation. Are you going to go over there and Perform my favorite animation? No? Like, who knows why it went on fire, first off? Good, you're just checking on... Yep. I bet you're very warm going through the fire. Let's check your warmth level. You're at 100%. Get in there. Can we get somebody to do it? Now, are they going for the water as well? Yep, here they go. They're getting the buckets of water out, and they're making... This is why I located the water well next to it. So these people are all carrying buckets of water, and they're all just like, nope, don't need it. So this is, in fact, how this works. Okay, I wasn't seeing things when this happened. I kind of like that, like, pre-fire department vigilanteism. Like, just everybody carry buckets of water from the well to the house. That's why you need to have the houses there, and in fact, I haven't noticed fire spread, but I'm sure that must happen. I've got a decent amount of resources and everything now. We've got an arborist. Okay, it does appear as if these are trees that can be cut. Oh, wait, no, these are two separate. Huh, this is funny. Oh, so we get both wood and apples. That is nice, because some games you just get apples. Like, this is an Animal Crossing, you know? All those iron bucks going to waste. Yeah, were we storing anything in the house? We are storing things in the house, too. And doo-doo. Where is our compost area? Have we got a guy assigned to that? Yes, Veldrin has been gathering up poop. Like, that is his entire task in life. That is his sole station. You get the poop from the houses. Knock on the door every single day. Ask people if you can have their poop. Medieval times. Simpler times. Then people would complain, like, stop inventing these toilets. Everyone's unemployed, you know? I lost my job gathering poop. Candle shop, weaver building, linen that helps them outside in the cold weather. Potter building, shape to make pottery. Now we do have a lot of the things that we need for this. This will help us with pottery. I'm not really sure if we need that right away. Sand pit. Sand gives laborers a place to gather sand. Work camp. Continuously harvest wood and stone. I guess this is like for an outer lying settlement now at this point. Defenses, I'm feeling pretty safe, so I'm not going to worry about this because we did just fine with the last one. Let's just look at what we'll need at Town Hall level 3. Okay, so we're going to need 150 population. That's a lot. And we're going to need homesteads built, for which we need to increase the desirability. So what we really want to do here is just bump our food game way, way up. Because right now, we just don't have enough farmers. We have a lot of people doing other things. So I'm hesitant, although it seems like we have a lot of other sources of stuff that we could be doing. You might be thinking to yourself, I'm going to try to start to get long-term crop creation happening. Let's go ahead and do like rye and wheat here, I think. So do those have similar villagers stricken with cholera and dysentery? Oh yeah, we're gonna need a soap shop as well. So these are quite similar, right? Okay, so it's kind of similar, like the amount of sand that we'll need. Yeah, that would be in a green area for both of those. So we can swap these around. Now, this is going to increase our fertility. I'm pretty sure that the maintenance won't increase the fertility. Cotton. We could do cotton. That's true. Or what is that? Buckwheat? No, that's not cotton. I swear there must have been, though. Anyway, let's just plant this, and then we'll do some good old-fashioned turnover here. So these crops might harm the land. Like, they do hurt the fertility, so we want to make sure we bring it back. I hope that will be enough. We might have to have some bigger rotation, though. Anyway, we'll just separate that out into more fields if that does happen. But, you know, we haven't starved to death yet, and they seem to be kind of sustaining themselves. Kind of getting the Frostpunk vibes, too. I guess that's fair. I haven't played Frostpunk, but I know what it's about. More dysentery. Good. Death spiral loop is incoming. And I'm starting to feel... Okay, good. We've got this. We've got this. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to see if I can start to get... Like, it seems to me we're losing some food, right? Because when I look at this, we've got a lot of fruit. But are we preserving the fruit or anything like that? So let's go ahead into food production. Barn might be nice, but I do believe that we need to trade it from a trader, but we might as well get it ready for, when we're ready. We'll put it near the doo-doo, because, I don't know, cows like doo-doo, right? Or maybe just out here in the outskirts of the village so that the military can defend the cows. That's basically why we have a military, right? Alright, so we've got that, the bakery, but before we get to a bakery, what we really need to do is, well, we've got to grind down whatever we're getting from the rye and the wheat fields, so we'll put this near here. I'm not sure if the desirability really matters in this section. Like, who cares if the windmill is desirable? Why can't we build here, though? Obstructed by fruit trees. Oh, no, not it. Alas, not the fruit trees again, obstructing all of my desires. Let's do that. And now I've gone ahead and I've replaced the roads with stone roads, which are harder and better and more solid underfoot. Villagers succumb to illness. That's okay. It's okay. Villager cured. Yes, sometimes things just work out. Okay, one thing that I should probably do now, despite the fact that we... Oh, no! Bethany. Now, so what makes you so exceptional that you're able to teach people? Who even knows? Who even knows? I don't know why any of the other lazy people couldn't do it. Planning lesson. Good, age 35. Okay, so we won't be so stupid anymore. I am going to take out one other thing, though. Amenities and services. I want to go for a healer's house. That is going to cost 100. Yeah, we'll wait on it. Mostly they just seem to be getting better anyway. We do have enough firewood. I wanted to make sure that flow was good. Good on that. Yeah, just more planks. Planks is like the constant struggle. Constant struggle for planks. But anyway, as I was saying, we're going to have to get a windmill, and then after we've ground that down... Is that how you would say it? You can't say grinded. Ground it. We've ground the grains. Then we need to go ahead and take all of that and make it into, edible bread. Arborist building, we've got that. Barn, we've got that going up. Bakery, I guess we'll just do that. They turn flour and water into dough, which is then baked into bread. The bakery requires a constant supply of firewood to operate. So I think we'll get these things up in case if we get a chance to use them, which hopefully we will. Where are we at here? Yeah, so we have nice boy room for the fields to come out here, and then we have it goes to the windmill, and then it goes into the bakery, and then it goes here, and then the military eats it, and then no one gets any of it. And that's society. That's the military-industrial complex we're working on right here. Good. Good. More of that. Now, we keep running low on food. We've just been too much in short-term stock and food supplies. How can we preserve our berries? Let's examine the situation. I believe it's R I press. Now, this is a useful screen. I just pressed the letter R on my keyboard, but we've got all of our resources. We've got town info. We've got all the resources in storage, so this is helpful to see the items at 25. Ooh, this is useful. I wish it would tell you a little bit more about what is spoiling, though. Show categories. Ah, that's good. Now, can we see inline categories, empty items list? No. It would be interesting to see if, all the fish... Yep, there they go. They just went bad. They just went bad. I mean, otherwise, my life is just kind of like a constant, torturous cycle of getting fish over and over again. But it seems as though... Okay, here we go. We're setting the grazing. Graze anywhere you like. Again, we don't have animals, but hopefully maybe this trader will have some cows in a box. Yeah, the salt. Well, the salt we've got. We're good on the salt. That's a good point. Cows. The trader has this. I need to pay you 340 gold, you scammer. Jesus. I mean, it looks like I'm going to have to either give up all of the wood or all of the stone in order to get this, because they aren't willing to take anything else. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these things, and I'm going to sell my soul so that I can get one machine part. But the good news is that this will then help us make bread. And then once we've got that, I haven't seen anything break down, fingers crossed. So nobody say it. No, please nobody say it. 340, so if we have this... Let's just sell them all of our stuff. I'm literally going to sell all of the stone. I know I'm going to regret this later, but there's stone lying around everywhere. Give me a break. This is a huge ripoff. But I haven't seen anybody else with it. And I need only one of them. Alright, I'm selling my soul. Selling my soul. Here we go. Okay, rocks, rocks. That's my rocks cry. Here we go. Look, we've already got 34 more rocks left in the entire surrounding area. Oh, 250 there. You know, we could just, you know, we'll pay for our bread with back-breaking labor over the next 200 years. And that's capitalism. And it works. It works. Okay, so this is going to give us 7 each. So 7 times... have I done my math completely wrong here? I think I have. No, we don't have to sell all of it. We don't have to sell all of it. Unfortunately, this is just the worst deal. We should have done something different with the last person. I mean, even if this person were willing to buy, like, I don't know, say, for example, a few planks, that would have worked. But that is to say, if you can produce one good that's kind of rare, you know, it'll give you a big advantage, and you do kind of depend on traders. Am I allowed to just buy this from you right now? No, I'm not. What did you mention? No, I didn't see it when you said it in chat. Hey, thank you, Shoot Me Down, Did. Is there something else I missed? Sell boy. Works when there's no monopoly there? Yeah, fair. I mean, this person does have a monopoly on this good. But it is, though. It stunks. And I bet that you could play the system once you start... Like, once you have abundance of everything, you'll be fine. But for right now, yeah, we are kind of screwed. Hang on a second. Merchant is not... Wait a second. I did not read that, actually. Okay. I messed up. Hang on a second. I didn't read the text where it said the merchant is not buying the item. Alright, I'm gonna have to do something else horrible. Wait a second. Merchant is trading this commodity. Not enough gold. Hang on a second. Transfer items. Keep in stock off. Oh, you can keep some things in stock, so we wouldn't have to do this every time. But I don't really like doing that because I like being able to use it. Merchant is buying this item. Merchant is not selling. It's very, like, picky the way that they do this. And the merchant just left. Okay, so there you go. It might help us to keep some things in stock at this place in the future. Ah, damn them. Okay, we just lost our entire deal. I'm learning slowly, guys. I'm learning. We're running out of food. Maybe this will be like the end of the colony. I was thinking that please, no, we need bread. Come back. It's too bad we can't just ambush them and, like, try to force the, you know, like, create a conflict. Then maybe we have another... I can think of so many areas that would, like, fill that with intrigue and... Well, let's see if the other guy has anything that we would want. We have 2 swords. But I think that those are the only 2 swords. So I don't really want to sell those. But I will sell some of these hide coats. How about that? Just so we can get some more gold for the next time. Let's bring in, like, maybe 5 hide coats. Because we seem to be having a good time making those. Yeah, and then we can sell some of these to this guy. Well, no, he's not buying. See, this is why he's selling it, but he's not buying it. Okay, never mind. I'll leave them in there for the next trader, but it's sort of like you need so much liquidity around your selling, and, like, you need it very well lubricated, the putting in and the taking out of goods, because traders don't stay for long either. It's too bad. Like, that can get to be a bit much. Like, that could have totally changed our fortunes. But oh well. Okay, let's see if we are doing any better with the crops now. We aren't able to grind any of this stuff. Now, the other unfortunate piece of news that I have to tell you is that our ability to create these machine parts is very far away because we haven't got a forge and other stuff like that. So we're pretty much just fishing because we've now filled up the town and there's too many people who want to live here, and we aren't able to produce food fast enough and preserve it for the winter. So I guarantee you that a lot of these people are going to die. Actually, yeah, I was in 4 times speed for that, so maybe they didn't. But still, though, too, I mean, it's not very far between these things, and they should have been able to do that. Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay. I find myself having reached an impasse, which I was hoping, not really hoping, but I was expecting would come, and that now it's midsummer. Like, no merchants saved us for the winter. We seem to be running out of fish. I don't know why. I thought we were doing a great job fishing all of them out. I'll probably make more and then hunt them all to death. But this is kind of like the gameplay loop, just in that so many migrants want to come to your town. It's almost like too many, like I wasn't ready for that many people. And they're all just sort of like, hey, we'd all like to starve to death with you. But yes, can we get a shoal over here? Maybe we could build more along this riverbank or something. Alright, let's try that. We'll just put on more of these. No, fish count 0. Oh no, we've completely fished this entire lake. Ooh. Yep, there's no fish in there. Okay, time to search for another body of water. Okay, time for a desperate struggle. And if that doesn't work, then just YOLO. Either that or another deer area. So one thing that I'll say that I've pretty much neglected to do for most of this game, and it was working with my other villages, but they weren't growing as fast, and we were getting not as much reliance on farms, but more on fish, is just the fact that this is a survival game as much as a colony sim and builder, which I think is one thing that maybe I didn't emphasize enough and kind of makes it unique. Because there's a lot of sameness that you see here, but you do need to explore a little bit, and there are some things in the changing environment that, as a smooth-brained streamer, I think I think I kind of gave myself permission to mess up some of those things before. But, you know, if you were to get a couple more hours in this game, I'm sure you would be a little bit more resourceful than I've been. We do still have deer. And now I'm just going to try to be a little bit more wily and resourceful. We've got more deer over here, so let's see if we can just get another hunter's cabin up, since all of the fish thing has been working out so well. Either that or we just overfished the lake. Not looking back, though. Not looking back. Let's do a hunter cabin over... No, we don't want them to have to, you know, commute too much. But I like that commuting to work is kind of like a consideration in this game. You tried spelling my name backwards? Oh my god. Did you have an aneurysm? Some of the jobs don't seem to be filling themselves out either. That's not good. And the fish do seem to come back in the summer. I think we just completely fish them every year, though. Yeah, like, bit of a learning curve here, but I'm finding that it's not quite as accessible as Banished, but it's also not as difficult to learn as a lot of other games that get people too much in the weeds. You know what I mean? Like, I find that aesthetic of a game like Banished has a tendency to make people go bonkers. They go ape, one might say, over just how interested they are in medieval architecture in the game. They like it. People like this aesthetic in games. Nuts. Nuts. That is a remarkably low number of... Is this the map edge? No, it does keep going on. It is a rather large environment, and I know that the game took a while to load in. I can't know whether to attribute that to optimization or if it's just a really big game environment. But yeah, not that many animals out here, honestly, because that's going to be our... Oh, no, boar. Okay, boar. All right, we'll put up one more hunter cabin just because we're pretty much going to need to hunt down all of the wildlife. Might do another smokehouse just to see if we can get somebody else working on that stuff faster, and then like one more root cellar. One more smokehouse, since we seem to be doing some food production here in an unregulated location. We'll do that. And smokehouse, can we get the one root cellar? Where is the root cellar again? All the buildings do sort of look the same. Yeah. Crop field, smokehouse, fishing shack, forager shack, hunter cabin. No, it's definitely not a tier 2. Root cellar, storage. There we go. It's not under food production. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Villagers are cured! Probably not for long. Now they're going to starve to death. Ah, yes, an internet cafe. You're so right. Why didn't I think of that before? You will hunt the boar. There we go. What is your name? Cauldron or something like that? Shelter, 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 shelter. I'm not going to build any more shelters because I don't want any people. But I suppose what I really could have done is just know what my food source was like capable of supporting and then kind of cap my houses at that. No cap. Max pop is 72. Well, I could have gone higher, but now at this point I don't think it's a very good idea to invite more people into starving alongside us. Just not be very well advised. Keep designating more of these trees. Just destroy everything. I guess the other thing I still have yet to find out, though, is, like, is there a limit to deforestation, or will trees just keep coming back? Hey, Lido, thank you. I guess just, like, quick poll of you guys in chat. How many of you guys have played Banished? If you have played Banished, go ahead and say yes. And if you haven't played Banished, go ahead and say no. Kind of curious how many of you guys know this game, or if now I'm starting to show my age. I think pretty much everybody bought a copy of Banished, because that was back when that was happening. All the gamers in chat who are on the PC and can type fast played Banished, and then everybody else who has normal response time and normal, not fiber internet connections is taking a little bit longer. Okay, I'm learning a little more about my audience now. I'm learning a little bit. Also, Earth Melon, hey, thank you very, very much, Earth Melon, for the 10 gift subs. Guys, if you're getting a gift sub, please be sure to say thank you to Earth Malone. Earth Malone. Not to be confused with Water Malone. Thank you, Earth Malone. Thank you, Earth Malone. God bless you. Thank you very much for the 10 gift subs. Hollow, thank you for the Prime. Oktoberfaust, and Siege also, and Markinator, and One Sockboy, and Benign Tyranny, and Slunky McGee. Yeah, lots of subs coming in. And Queen of Bithia. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, now the yearly taxes have been collected. New traveling merchant, a new traveling merchant, new machine. No, he doesn't have the machine. That one person was so rare now, I am beginning to understand. So I suppose it's a good idea to just keep some stuff in there. All right, well, noted for the next time, if you guys do it. Have we seen... We haven't actually seen a raid yet. What would be like a good stream goal? I feel like I did most of the things that I wanted to do now. So, ooh, something is grow. Something is very grow over here. Look at this. We haven't even seen this. Ah, that's nice. That's actually lovely. Wait, the deer is... What is that? A doe, a deer, an eating deer. How do we keep that guy out? Look, he's just making his way. He's going to eat the entire field. Here comes the farmer. No, stop. Stop that. Stop eating this stuff. How do we prevent this from happening?
I know it's only been 3 months, but I think we can go the distance.
Maybe we could get the... Is the guard tower overlooking this? Maybe we need to hire a soldier. Okay, so then maybe this is full of intrigue. Hang on a moment. Hey, Ichi, thank you very much. Queen of Bithia. Enter Skull. So I actually neglected to do this then. Okay. Yet another thing. Let's put a guard tower over all of our over our farms. I didn't think I would need to guard the farms from this furry who's come in here and started eating the crops. I have to defend myself from my persona, which always threatens to destroy me. It's like the id of my consciousness coming in and sleepwalking and taking everything. Wait, why did you just leave? Ah, yes, fences and walls. Why didn't I think of that? I guess it's fair to do that now. Let's see if we could get a wall. That would be like a good end. Build a wall, right? Let's do that. End with the wall. Okay. Walls and rooms. Oh, yeah, we haven't done this at all. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so we do have a palisade gate. Because, I mean, ultimately, this is kind of what the game is supposed to turn into, so I like to give you guys something visual and satisfying to end. Even if it's probably ill-advised for the number of resources and the amount of food that we have left. Let's just build a wall and watch our population starve. I think that would be a satisfying end. Sturdy field wall. Can we get, like, it's a palisade wall? I guess we can upgrade that later. I'm gonna assume here that palisade walls also defend against wildlife and prevent wildlife from coming in. Let's try this out. Let's give it a shot. Can a palisade wall extend to the river? Looks like that's about as far as I can get it. Okay, let's build something large and expensive. I was thinking like this. Kind of make this a big fort. All right, let's just give them that, because that seems like a lot to build, and that's going to take some time, and I'd like them to give that a try. Even if we don't get to the end of this, I just kind of want to see what would it look like if we were to try to expand our village. And maybe, like what I've seen other people on their YouTube videos do for this game is to kind of section off areas. So, like, you build your main fort, it's kind of self-sufficient, and then you build on an expansion where you're trying to get your population growing. Because now everybody's upset. I've clearly overexpanded. I haven't... Oh, wait, here we go. A raid. This is good, too. I'll get to see this. Okay, so there's some hunter boy who's... See what I mean about the raiders? They look like there's something out of... Ah, this is great. Now we're getting my whole bucket list for this game. Do not rush in when you have just a bow, sir. You are going to get yeeted so bad. Can I come just to leave? Just leave. More like Leavedin, not Leodin. God, he's so brolic. Look at how strong we've become from eating nothing but smoked fish for tens of years. It's like they've evolved in some new and unexpected way. Wait, we have nobody in the guard tower. Not a great time to have unemployment in the guard tower. We should also probably have an army. My settlement has also grown, but this will be more interesting if we lose. So, I'm okay with that. Here they come in fast motion. Okay, they're going to sack the village. We do have somebody in the tower now, okay? In my experience, I got raided by, I think it was 5 or 6 people the last time, so this is nice and big, this raid. You have a bow. Oh, wait, there's stocking the shelter. Please bring something over. He has no arrows. Okay, so just, who is this? Who dis? One of our random villagers is just fighting them. Okay, so it's just good old-fashioned swashbuckling then. Down for that. Down for some swashbuckling. Look, this gentleman has just a very large stick. What do they really want? What do they want? Villagers graduated. Okay, great. Well, we're going to have to hold off on the graduation ceremony because there's raiders in the street who don't really seem to be aiming for anything in particular. Kind of funny, honestly, because they just sort of wander around the town, like, aimlessly, like, trying to hurt people. What did they want? We don't even have a gold storage. We have 38 gold ingots right now, which apparently is not even that much because everyone in this world has, like, tons of gold bars underneath their mattress. Okay, and now they do seem to be retreating. Okay, so a little bit of, like, more dynamic AI behavior. Good to see. I like that. Did we get a report on it? Okay, so the raiders were killed by the lady who carries stones. He was probably just squashed. Food stocks are low. No, they came back, and we also... Didn't we lose a guy or two? Somebody probably died. Well, victory, Screech. Good job. Yeah, which is why I don't really take the raids so seriously. Or there is combat, but it does feel kind of like... You remember when Going Medieval came out and it was sort of like the raiders' pathfinding was just very kind of... I felt like it was a little obvious. Yeah, in this game I'm getting some kind of similar vibes with the raiding. But I like that they're trying to put it in. You know, like Dyson Sphere Program, I'm going to bring up that game because I think it's such an amazing game. But it didn't have combat to start, but they added in combat. Speaking of which, I kind of want to go back out and check Dyson Sphere Program because that is a really good game. Anyway, different kind of game, more about automation than this, but... Damn, I forgot about I forgot how much I liked Dyson Sphere Program. Okay, I mean, in other news, the wall. Did I mention that there's a wall? But I don't really know if this would be that great because the raiders aren't that good and it just seems like such a huge outpour of resources. So I wanted to see if it would be worth it. Okay, so they're downing trees. They aren't really working on it that much. I wonder if there's a way to get people to just... There is. So they do kind of divide themselves up between laborer and builder at will. I gotta say that this game is automating a lot of this career stuff really nicely for me. I have hardly had to do any of it, and it does work out pretty well. But it's not... Or actually what I was just trying to draw attention to was the fact that there's laborers and there's builders. And I thought that those were all just one thing before. A little naive, but so be it. Okay, so the food is coming back. I thought we would have been starving by now, so that is a very good thing to see. Let's go ahead and just keep trying to build up our resource game, because the sooner we can get to, like, actual industry, if we need to go very far to get iron, I'm okay with that, just because, well, then we can build this, you know, grain processing and so on and so forth. So if we want to upgrade our town, we're going to need more people. Ah, what the hell? We'll just welcome them in. Everybody's gonna starve to death anyway. And you get to starve to death. I like how roads don't cost resources in this game. It bothers me when roads cost, like, wood. There's no wood on the road. Where is the wood? Show me the wood. There we go. Villagers stricken with typhoid. So many different diseases they can get. Yeah, I'm thinking that this wall was just kind of a waste, so we'll just kind of leave that wall there as it is. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're fine. For all I know, the wall will go on fire. But really, though. B, let's do more housing. Just get a totally unsustainable number of houses now. I'll do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and we're all gonna die. We are all going to die in a heap. Alright, good enough. I mean, they're not so dense, but that's fine. We have room for stuff if we have to expand. I have seen very, like, well-planned medieval villages, though, where people will totally take everything out, and it looks like a very satisfying city. And it doesn't even have this nature aesthetic anymore. It definitely has like an urban look and feel. What was this 86? Structural integrity. I shudder to know what happens the day. Why does the school building need gold in order to remain standing? And so much gold. I mean, I could see why that would be helpful for the teacher. Like, she needs to be paid in gold ingots. At least they're repaying the teachers. But at the same time, like... Aren't there better building materials? Dehydration, scurvy, typhoid. Oh, scurvy. Huh. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this kind of answers my question before. So, scurvy is caused by lack of fruit, right? Ascorbic acid. That's interesting. I know I'm just neglecting everyone dying, but that's going to happen now. Fruit. Okay, so that's another reason to grow fruit. All right, I will take some fruit. And do we have any... Man, some things really do take a long time to grow. Oh, what is that on fire? No. Oh, it's going to smell so bad in town. So I guess that is a reason to have wells around your town, just for like a fire department, for lack of a better term. Yeah, lack of vitamins. Okay, I've said a lot of things that I don't like. Now I'm going to say a thing that I'm a big fan of. There's a lot of games where it's just kind of like, that's not realistic at all. And you have to, like, I mean, I'll even tote one that I've done for a long time. And I love Project Zomboid with all my heart. But I will say that the farming system, you can grow potatoes or cabbages from beginning to end in, like, what is it, 15 days? I don't think that, I mean, I'm not growing a bunch of potatoes or cabbages, but that is a rather short period of time. In this game, it does have, like, pretty realistic lengths of time when you have to plant crops and stuff. But now I just kind of think, where from here? Resources. Iron mine. Do we have iron? Let's take a quick scan. Probably not. We have a shoal. Shady Shoals Nursing Home. That was what it made me think of. I was thinking, where have I heard the word shoal before? And it all comes back to SpongeBob. Nope, I can in fact confirm that there appears to be no... What is that, sand? Sand pit. It would be interesting. It's kind of neat, though, how villages are supposed to, like, commute to and from these work zones, because clearly you're not going to have a place with everything in it. Yeah, get our good GMO crops. Coal deposit. We really don't have too much of this stuff. Alright, we'll do it for the bees. Honey bonus. Now, what is causing the honey bonus? Oh, crops. Okay, yes, because they have more stuff to, like, pollinate. That makes sense. Fair. Fair. Okay, let's have the... Villager is feeling worse. Villager named to the salt is taking a turn for the worse. Good, good. The typhoid is spreading. There's no food left. Okay, so, like, we're actually undergoing, like, some horrible death spiral that I really can't do much about. Oh, I don't know why, though, now. You know what I forgot to build a long time ago? A soap shop. I totally forgot this thing. We had tallow all along. Okay, this is, can't be placed near a fruit tree. Obviously can't place a soap shop near a fruit tree, no. Wouldn't even think of it. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Now, I maybe could have slightly prevented this. Really? I mean, there wasn't much hope from the start. I don't want you to feel good. But yeah, like I said, what did I say in the beginning? This game is a food growth and preservation simulator in many ways. So, like, there is that. And although that may not seem... Oh, they do have cows. I wish I had seen this before. We're probably all going to die, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference here. I mean, it's really not the cows. It's more just the machine parts. But yeah, I feel as though every time I play this, I've just learned a little bit more about it. I've gotten a little bit more here, but yeah, there are a few things with the resource management. So like I said, not really like a long-term dive into this game, but clearly I'm going into some sort of death spiral right now. But what I think is going to happen with this colony is that it will just sort of plateau and then become like sinusoidal. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of natural with population growth, that you just get to a point where you can sustain it. And now, because I never really took out those resources for a healer house, let's go ahead and see if we can just cure the short-term thing, though, because I would like to do that. Is he buying this? Merchant is buying this, but I just don't have any of these things that the merchant wants. Not buying this. Yeah, so what it really is that you need to make... I guess, like, in summary, I'm not sure if we will come back from this. I might just leave it there, but it's been a fun way exploring it. Closing thoughts is that the combat really isn't emphasized as much right now. Like, your people will just fend them off. I was hoping that we would get a decent raid there. That was a pretty good raid. But I think more so, you need to just specialize hard into a couple of trade goods, get a lot of gold, and then pay one trader for something. Like, I should have emphasized this more earlier on, because there was that guy that we could have gotten more from with our gold. We probably could have done pottery or something like that, and we have this clay deposit here, so we could have made pottery. Someone would have been willing to pay a lot for it, and then switch that out for gold, because that's like a universal trading commodity, or means of, you know, currency as it has been throughout human history. I've not played Frostpunk before, but now I'm starting to get that vibe now that you say this. Yeah, just because it's neat. Like, there are these buildings that I couldn't upgrade. I know that if I continue this, I'm probably just going to be banging my head against a wall with some of that stuff. Actually, it does seem like they're starting to stabilize here a little bit. But, yeah, a lot of it's going to be that. But this is the point at which I think that the game does become kind of grindy. So I think I am going to leave it there for today.